The regent of Dagbon, Kampakuya and Dani Yakubu Abdullah has denied claims by the Asantehene Otumfuo II that he failed to cooperate with the committee of eminent chiefs mediating the Dagbon chieftaincy dispute. The Asantehene, during a recent visit to Jubilee House, where the roadmap to lasting peace was presented to President Akufo-Addo, noted the absence of the regent at the ceremony.
Actually performed their funerals waiting till when they thought they would also have a good environment which would be suitable to them to be able to perform their father's funeral so that they could move on. And therefore, we still have regents, most of the regents in the Abudu side also now waiting. The bone of contention has been whether regents can play a part in the funeral of Yana. And that also has come up. In fact, after our meeting, there were issues raised by the representatives of the regent of Dagbon, and then the Kugana. I don't know where they were. Are the representatives of Kugana here? Because I asked for them to come. Prime Minister, you didn't get them, or they refused to come? They said they are sick. All right. And he said he was sick, so he was not coming. Okay, because. After this, we will have to take very serious decisions on those people, because I cannot countenance anyone holding Dagbon to ransom or this country to ransom.
Well, the regents of Dagbon, Kampakuya and Dani Yakubu Abdullah, however, strongly contest the views expressed by the Asantehene. In a letter addressed to President Akufo-Addo, he rather accused Asantehene of not availing himself for a meeting.
The pronouncements of His Majesty Otumfuo before Your Excellency on 21st November exposes clearly the untruth on which the decisions on the mediation committee of eminent chiefs is based. Their decisions, entirely out of tune with the principles of mediation and with Dagbon customs, appear to be aimed at achieving an agenda that should not be adopted by Your Excellency, democratic father of all Kenyans, under the oath you took upon assumption of office. Your Excellency, Otumfuo's suggestion that I refuse to respond to his invitation is also not factual. I actually met him at Menchia 1st February 2015 and 18th July 2017, once at my behest and once at his invitation. A third invitation was sent during the Buvum Fire Festival in September 2018, when it was inappropriate to leave Yendi. Through his intermediary, he agreed to postpone my visit to a later date. When I followed up later, the first week of October 2018, he indicated that he was traveling to South Africa and would invite me upon his return. I have since not heard from him. I did not also unilaterally get my lawyer to go to him, but advised the lawyer to respond favorably to his invitation on the matter before his committee, which strangely is also receiving judicial attention at the instance of persons claiming to be leaders of the Abdu Royal Gate, for whom he has no blame. The courts have been contemptuously ignored by the committee. The Otumfuo further grossly erred when he claimed that a very uncustomary advisory council of elders he put in place could not meet. The council met at least 7 times, with this last meeting in December 2011. During its lifetime, it discussed and advised me on funerals, land administration, and customs of Dagbon. Copies of the minutes were sent to the Northern Regional Minister and the Yendi Municipal Assembly. Copies of the minutes of the last 2 meetings were sent to the chairman of the Committee of Eminent Chiefs.
Meanwhile, the National Peace Council is appealing to all stakeholders, especially the Royal and Dani and Abudu families, not to renege on their commitment to peace. The council further charged the people of Dagbon not to allow external and internal forces to derail the path to peace.
The National Peace Council wishes to congratulate the Otumfuo-led committee for presenting to His Excellency the President a clear roadmap aimed at bringing a closure to the Dagbon conflict. The council further expresses confidence in the committee and looks forward to the return of peace and development in Dagbon. The roadmap, which basically envisages that the Abudu royals should perform the funeral of the Yana Mahamudu Abdullah from December 14 to December 28, 2018, to be followed by the funeral of the late Yana Yakubu Andani II from January 4 to 18, 2019, is plausible And the council requests all Ghanaians, especially Dagombas, to support the roadmap to the fore. The council further wishes to express gratitude to all individuals and groups who in diverse ways are contributing to the restoration and maintenance of peace in Dagbon, especially the youth associations, for their display of commitment to the Otumfuo-led committee. The council passionately appeals to all stakeholders, especially both the sons and daughters of the royal Andani and Abudu families, not to renege on this noble path of peace that they have taken. They should note that present sons and daughters of Dagbon and the generations unborn will bless their memories if they do not allow both internal and external forces which do not wish the peace of Dagbon to turn the clock backwards. The council notes with satisfaction the efforts by all parties to ensure that peace is maintained in Bimbilla after the Supreme Court ruling on the chieftaincy dispute. The council, however, wishes to appeal to the Nakpana family and all parties involved to cooperate with the RegSec in ensuring sustainable peace. The council further wishes to encourage all parties and interest groups in the Bimbilla dispute to be guided by the Supreme Court ruling and observe other important traditional and customary norms and practices in Nanong.
Right, joining me on the line right now is Hashmin Mohammed, our Northern Regional Correspondent. Now, Hashmin, what has been the feedback since the roadmap was presented by the Asantehene to the President some few weeks back?
Well, there has been a mixed reaction to the roadmap that was presented by the Asantehene. Whilst the Abudu royal family have welcomed the roadmap as a roadmap that will bring lasting peace to Dagbon, there are still the Andani royal family still have issues with the roadmap. According to them, there are still some key issues that they presented to the committee, and the committee ignored it. And to the extent that they are also, the Otumfuo is also accusing the Dagbon Regent of taking an intransigent position, is something that they are not happy with. And they are accusing the committee of bias, and they think that the roadmap as it has been presented at the moment is not something that can bring lasting peace to Dagbon. Now, there have been a lot of civil society organizations that have been working towards peace in Dagbon, but those civil society organizations themselves, as it stands now, the Andani royal family have issues with them. Some of them are saying that they are being supported by the Northern Regional Security Council, and specifically they mentioned the Northern Regional Minister as someone who is facilitating that, and they are reading some kind of political undertones to the event. Now, within the Andani royal family itself, they are saying that the representation that signed the documents to the peace map is not a true reflection of their interests, and they are saying that at the committee hearing in Kumasi, they oppose all the issues raised in the roadmap, but the Otumfuo-led committee ignored their concerns and went back and went further to present the roadmap to the presidency. And they are saying that, well, they cannot oppose the funeral of Nana Muhammadu Abdullahi since it is a national security, since it is a national issue being implemented by government. But as far as they are concerned, when it comes to the funeral of Yana, Yakubu, and Daniel, they will have issues to raise. So it has been a mixed reaction. Just this afternoon, I had a message from the Andani, the youth of the Andani family, warning the Dagbon Melmizar youth. It is one of the civil society organizations working towards peace. According to them, they have used their name over the weekend in a program that was dubbed to be a peace march, which they do not seek their concern. And media reported it that Abudu and Andani youth marched towards peace, and they are distancing themselves from that supposed peace march. They are saying that because their views were not taken into consideration, they are not part of the organization that organized the peace.
Now, Hashmin, does it mean that they're rejecting this roadmap, or they're willing to follow the roadmap regardless of the issues they have with it?
Well, even before the roadmap was presented to the president, you recall the Andani family staged a press conference in which their spokesperson, Mr. Bashar Dabale, accused the committee of moral corruption and inconsistency. That was a day before the committee presented their report to the presidency. And according to the Andani royal family, they are still maintaining the position they have maintained. And they are saying that the committee, as it stands now, the fact that they are ignoring their consent tells them that they are biased towards them.
All right, thank you very much, Hashmin Mohammed, bringing that update from the northern region. We're joined via Skype right now by Said Ali Yakub from Kumasi. Good evening to you, Said. Now, what's been the reaction to this letter that's come from the Regent of Dagbon to President Kufuor, essentially refuting the claims made by the Asantehene?
Well, good evening, Israel. In fact, I've been trying to get responses from the Manshia Palace. And you know, issues of this nature, I can tell you that nobody at Manshia will speak to it until they have gotten a clearance from Kufuor. So I tried successfully here in the afternoon to speak to the Chief of Staff of the Palace, Mr. Kufuor. Later, I got through to another source in the office. And the indication I have from the palace is that the palace is not going to respond to this thing directly. In fact, the source I spoke with described the Dagbon issue as still dicey. So the Manshia Palace is committed to the roadmap, is submitted to the president, and for that matter, they want to concentrate on seeing to it that this roadmap is carried through to bring, lasting peace. So they are not going to respond directly or publicly this incident as far as this letter is concerned.
But generally, what's been the reaction of the public? Because it appears, or this letter from the regent appears to, go against or challenge the authority of the Asantehene.
Well, the way the communication structure of Manshia is, even if people have issues about this thing, until Otunfor himself, reacts to it publicly, or maybe details somebody to do that, people would not want to go public and talk about it. So that is the situation you have in Kumasi. As far as the public is concerned, people may have read the letter, but then they will not respond to it or react to it publicly. And even within the powers of that, if somebody wants to speak to this issue, the person must get clearance from.
All right, thank you very much, Said Ali Yakub. That's from joining us from the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi. You're watching JoyNews Prime. We're taking